YouTube! I am Pinstar, and this is a press build preview of Democracy 3 Africa. So for those of you who have never played or possibly heard of the original Democracy 3, it came out about a year or so ago. This is by Positech. They were kind enough to give me an early advanced copy of Democracy 3 Africa. Basically, your role is you are a newly elected leader of a chosen African nation, and your goal is to, well, basically try and fix the country while trying to be re-elected and also keep yourself alive. And this is done through enacting policies, managing your political capital, managing your actual capital, i.e. your budget, so you don't go broke, and all sorts of other fun stuff like that. So this is part strategy game, part, I'd almost say, puzzle game, but it's very in-depth. I love the series. I loved it. I love the original Democracy 3, and after playing through it a little bit in Democracy 3 Africa, I'm loving it as well. So let's go through a game, shall we? Now you've got a series of countries to choose from here. Looks like we've got Botswana, Tunisia, South Africa, Ghana, Senegal, Zambia, Kenya, Nigeria, and Egypt. You know what? I'm going to go with, and this is just because they were frequently appeared in the old Aerobiz Supersonic game that I did on here. It was Tunisia. That was one of the major areas that you would go for. The Tunisian Republic is a medium-sized country in North Africa with extensive Mediterranean Sea coastline. Close proximity to Italy, has associated agreements with the European Union, and trade with Europe accounts for most of their imports and exports. So, yeah, you give it a different stats, and each of your starts is very different depending on which country you start. There's certain factors in play, certain problems you're going to have to deal with in some countries, but not in others. So let's take a look at what we got here. You can put in your normal thing here. As far as our party name, the Ficklewood Party. And we shall call our opposition the Fartin. I can't put apostrophes in there? The Fartin' Around Party. Now, yeah, you can customize your game types here as far as what sorts of things. These are usually pre-selected for you based on the nature of the country, but you can tweak it if you want a different playstyle. Me, I'm going to stick with the defaults here for Tunisia. So let's dive right in. Okay, so we have been newly elected, and here's what it's like in Tunisia. GDP, basically the economic wealth, is in the toilet, unemployment is high, health is not so good, education's not so good, poverty is up there. The only good thing going for us is that the crime is not too big of a problem. So let's begin our term in office. Now, you may be looking at this and may be saying, holy crap, what's going on here? What's with all these icons? I'll explain. It took me a while to learn this game, but it is absolutely fun. So you've got here in the middle here all of the different sectors and different basically types of people that you're trying to please, and or not, depending on your playstyle. Now, keep in mind that these are just sort of traits, and that a person can have more than one. You can have a poor, rural living elderly person, or maybe a patriotic environmentalist woman. There's different combinations, and I mean, obviously, all of this is simulated in the background as far as your people go. As you can see, a lot of them are not too happy with us. Trade unionists, liberals, poors, environmentalists, the religious, and, well, everyone, which is sort of the catch-all category. Not so good, and our popularity is subsequently in the toilet. So if an election were held again right now, we probably wouldn't make it. So one of our goals is to get this popularity up to where at least 40 to 50%, depending on voter turnout. Now you might be saying, well, what about all these buttons here? What are the white ones? What are the blue ones? What are the red ones? What's that green one? I'll show you. So these are all of the these little sections here are different aspects of our country. So this section up here is the transportation section. The blue icons tell us the status of things as they are right now. So for example, infrastructure. This is what our infrastructure is like. Obviously, you know, the state of the country's core infrastructure, including transportation, telecommunications, power, the reliability of services, and all that good stuff. So it's there. It's not great, but it's not horrible either. However, there are some things that we can, now we can't just say, all right, I want to increase my infrastructure. What you need to do is you need to sort of what I call them sort of like levers. You got to pull some levers. So if we look at infrastructure here, we mouse over here. What it's gonna do here is it's gonna hide all of the things that don't interact with the infrastructure, and what's left here is infrastructure. This tells us what impacts infrastructure, things that cause it to go up, things that cause it to go down. So for example, infrastructure, if you see the arrow going down into something, that means infrastructure is impacting something else. So we can see here by these slow, and I'm trying to draw with my finger. If you see those slow green arrows going down to stability there, that means infrastructure is very gently but positively impacting stability. And we can see a couple of things that are impacting infrastructure, such as foreign investment and foreign aid. But over there, toll roads and road building, those are other things. Now these things, because they're white here, these are actual laws that we can tweak, that we can actually manipulate and adjust. Now here, toll roads, right now as they're set, the tolls are low. There's not that many of them. We can tweak these to be, we can set the slider here to be higher or lower, and it'll tell us what the projected impacts are. So we're going to be pissing off the motorists something fierce. Urban people don't care about that because they already live in the city. Capitalists like it because we're making money off of people. Car usage goes down because fewer people want to drive if they have to pay the toll. Less traffic congestion is going to go down because fewer people are going to drive. Equality, some people are going to have to pay tolls when others don't. And motorists' income, so the amount of money somebody belonging to the motorist faction is going to have is going to be reduced. But more importantly, this infrastructure is going to be increased because we're building these toll roads. That means extra roads. So you know what? I'm going to keep it at maximum, and it actually is going to make us some more money. 78.8 million per quarter. It might sound like a lot. It's not actually that much of a lot. Now, here's one other thing you need to keep in mind. Is that changing any laws involve using political capital. So right now we start the game with 24 political capital. It's basically how much political clout we have and their ability to get laws and changes, pushed through the council and everything. We've got 24. To increase this law, it costs us 10 capital. To decrease it, it costs 17. And if we want to get rid of toll roads entirely, it costs us 13. Since we're raising it, it's going to cost us 10. But I think that's a good investment. So we're going to apply those changes. Now they're not going to go into effect right away. It takes us a while to actually build the toll roads, so their effects are going to slowly be show themselves on that. So hopefully that will start impacting. That'll start getting improving our infrastructure, which will in turn get rid of one of our problems here, which is power blackouts. Now the way problems work is that when something gets bad enough, it's called a trigger. So when something is above this red line, it will become a problem. It will become a distinct problem and start having negative effects on your country. And in order to solve this problem, you need to bring whatever the problem is down below the stop trigger. So it's not good enough just to get it back under the start trigger. You need to improve it significantly before it'll stop being a problem. Luckily, it looks like this is kind of some low-hanging fruit for us. It's already over time been going down, so we're just above the stop trigger. So if we can push it down a little bit, this will go away. Now, as you can see, it's having some pretty negative effects. It's decreasing our GDP. It's increasing unemployment, it's lowering health, it's lowering education, and making everybody unhappy. So we don't want power blackouts to stick around for as long as, and the only way to fix it is to increase our infrastructure. So hopefully that takes effect pretty soon. Now, we still got 14 more political clout here. The other thing you can do is you can enact brand new policies. Now, the things that are blocked off in red here, these are ones that we don't have the political clout to implement. We can't put in citizenship tests because it costs us 25 to implement. And we don't have that much. So, yeah. But there's a number of different categories, from foreign policy, welfare, economy, tax, public services, law and order, and transportation. Now, let's take a look at some of our other problems here. We've got ourselves some homelessness, and some pretty darn bad homelessness. Not only do we have to drag it back under the start trigger, we have to drag it under the stop trigger for homelessness to stop being a problem. And it really hurts liberals, the poor, middle income, and increases crime. Don't always think that a green bar means a good thing. If it's increased, green just means it's increasing, but if the thing it's increasing is bad, then that's a bad thing. So what are our different things here? Unemployment is a problem. So you know what? Let's try and attack it at its source. Rather than paying for homeless shelters or whatnot, let's attack the problem at its source by trying to lower our unemployment situation. So let's take a look, see if there's some things that we can do for that. Let's see here. Well, we've got small business grants. The failure rate of small business is very high in the early years of trading. Preferential government grant can be an enormous help to get new enterprise off the ground. This can lead to a big boost to the economy and also be an expensive policy with no guarantee with good results. Yeah, it can cost us up to 1.1 billion. So, let's take a look at some of the others that might help us out in terms of lowering unemployment. Let's see. State housing. Now, state housing would be a direct way to lower homelessness, but it's expensive. It can be, at its maximum setting, $7.58 billion per quarter. And it takes 16 quarters to fully implement as we build the houses. So, no. No, I still want to go for, let's see, technology grants. You know what? I'm gonna roll the dice with the small business grants. It's also a very popular program, so that will help increase my popularity. So let's implement this. So now here, since we've already paid the political capital to implement it, we can set its initial level just fine. And let's see, does it actually decrease unemployment? That's the question. Well, I might have flubbed with this one if it doesn't actually decrease. It increases self-employed, So maybe that will turn. Well, we'll have to see the relations behind that. But yeah, let's do this. Let's make the self-employed really happy with us. Capitalists and the GDP too. It helps the GDP. So let's apply those changes. Now, where is unemployment? Where's our unemployment thing? It's over in the economy section. I know there it is. So what impacts the unemployment, or rather, what caused? Yeah, our GDP being so crappy right now is really what's driving it. Yeah, that's the really thing. So increasing our GDP will decrease unemployment. All right, and we're only down to 4 political capital here. So before we take our first turn here, you might be asking, well, Pinstar, where do we get this political capital? Where do we get more? I mean, there's a ton of things here to do, and we just used up almost all of our political capital. Well, that comes from our council here. So each turn, which is a quarter, our political council, our council generates for us political capital to use. Now, how much they generate depends on a couple of things. It depends on their loyalty to us and also how their experience and their effectiveness. If you have someone who is all 3 of these, they're going to generate a ton. But if their loyalty starts slipping or if they're just inexperienced, not so much. So, for example, this person has sympathies for the patriots and the self-employed. Now, the self-employed, well, I don't know why their loyalty is kind of low. But as we increase the self-employed's, we're going to be making them happier. So we're going to make that council member happier, and therefore they're going to be a little bit more effective for us. So there's also a maximum amount of capital that we can accumulate, and that's based on the loyalty and the effectiveness of our ministers here. But nothing else that we can do at the moment but to hit the next turn button. So that's going to advance time by 1 quarter. All right, so now we get an idea after 1 quarter has passed here. What's happened with our things? So crime's gone down even further. That's great. Our credit rating got upgraded. So the capitalists are happier, and our GDP has increased. So that is good. Your credit rating, some of these are just plain random events, but some of these are tied to what you're doing. The fact that we still have a $4.38 billion surplus is a good thing. So we'll want to keep an eye on that, make sure that is. Yeah, we only have 4% of the vote right now, if there is an election right now. Not so good. And also we have a security briefing that the Women's Society has warned that its members feel they have nothing to lose. So yeah, when you make certain policies, you tend to make some groups happy and some groups angrier. And if you make a group angry enough, then some of them turn to extremists and you might get yourself assassinated. So it's letting us know, and I don't know why the women here are, because, I mean, yeah, the women are not the happiest with us, but they're not so angry with us that they should be plotting against us. Let's take a look at our groupings here. Those are the voter types. Here we go. Threat assessment. So these right here. These are the non-violent protest groups. They tell us how many people have joined them and how much of a threat they are to us. Now, again, these are the non-violent ones, so they're unlikely to cause us, physical harm. But if you make a group angry enough, then people will start joining the armed and violent groups, and then they're the ones that will attempt to assassinate you if they get pissed off enough. There's also policies that you can do to help protect you in terms of surviving security things. Right now, our security effectiveness is useless, so we're going to want to make sure we keep our threats to a minimum here. All right, so we've got 28 political capital. How is our power blackouts? Well, it's going to take infrastructure a little while to. Whoops, that's not. Now, the other thing we can do with infrastructure is road building here, but I don't really want to. there's a few other things. Let's take a look to our transportation. See what other things that we can do here. You know what? I want to do a lot with buses. Buses, bus lanes, bus subsidies. We can do a lot with buses, but building bus lanes, I think, is more of an infrastructure build out. So that should help our infrastructure as well. So let's implement this. Yes, it does boost infrastructure. Excellent. So let's crank this up. We are really going to piss motorists off, but I don't think they're one of the groups that form extremists. So you know what? We're gonna say, you know what? F you motorists. We are committed to pissing you off. And we're going to make up our popularity and everything from somewhere else. So you know what? Let's just double down on angering the motorists. How about a petrol tax? We need 36 political capital to raise this. And I want to raise this because that's way too low. So yeah. You know what? I'm going to sit on our political capital here and advance time and let it accumulate a little bit more. We still have a cap of 48, so we can build up enough to do that. Sometimes getting your cap varies depending on your ministers and their effectiveness. And some of the more controversial laws, either enacting or changing them, take a lot of political capital. I mean, you want to screw around with, abortion law? Yeah, that takes a lot of political capital. It has some pretty powerful effects, but it also eats a lot of political capital to do that. So, yeah, let's just sit on that and hit next here. Okay, our major things have not changed. We have we have a question. There's an urgent policy question. So this is something outside. You don't spend political capital on this, but you have to make a choice. Option A or option B, and it will affect your country. Do we allow drilling or do we prevent drilling? Now, this is going to hurt the environment if we allow it, but it's going to help our economy, and our economy's kind of hurting right now. So we're gonna allow drilling this time around, and our budget's doing quite well. All right, liberals are going up there. Self-employed still continuing to go up. Conservatives going down, and there go the motorists. And we've got enough political clout to go to anger them even more, but also raise some more money. Let's crank this up. Now, you need to be careful, especially when you're doing taxes. If you crank them too high, you can create brand new problems for yourself. Those red buttons that cause additional bad effects, those can spring up if you swing a law too far. So here, you know what? We're going to crank it up to the universal number, the meaning of life, 42%. So that's going to crank us up to $7 billion a quarter in earnings from that. It's going to really tank car usage, further piss off the motorists. But here's the thing. Motorists membership. People are going to start leaving the motorist party. They're going to stop being car enthusiasts entirely. They're going to say, screw this. It's too much of a hassle to drive anywhere with this freaking country. I'm going to stop whining about being a motorist because it's just not worth it. I'll sell my car and take the bus. So bleeding out membership for these parties that you intend to marginalize is a good strategy. At least what I find. It also hurts their income, but if we bleed them out, there won't be too many people suffering from that. So let's apply those changes. So yeah, that nuked our capital right there. With only 5 left, we might as well sit on that. But we're paying down we're $33.7 in debt, but we're paying that off. And so that's going to help our stability as well. How's infrastructure doing? It's steadily increasing. So pretty soon we should be knocking out these power blackouts. Yeah, it's just starting to creep down there. Eventually it'll get down below the trigger, and it'll let us know when that situation is at an end. Local blockbuster. What do we have here? Ooh, a massive hit movie was made in our country has not only resulted to a boost to our economy, but also doing wonders for our tourism and foreign relations by portraying our country in such a sympathetic light. Grab the popcorn. So, boost to tourism, boost to GDP, and boost to foreign relations. So, good event there. You can also get categorically bad events that just, it's like, something bad happened and a bunch of things go down outside your control. All right, $8.53 billion a quarter in surplus. So that's looking good. All right, 26 political clout here. Let's start looking at some of our other problems. We still want to hit that homelessness here, but you know what? Skills shortage caused by lack of education and university grants. Well, if we look at university grants, I think that's that. Not only does increasing this directly decrease the problem of skills shortage, it increases education, which also has an effect of decreasing the skills shortage. So you know what? Let's crank this baby up. It's going to cost us a bit, but yeah, $2.32 billion a quarter. But look at this. Big boost to education. State employees love us. Youth loves us. The income of youth loves us because we're helping them out with college. The skills shortage is really going to get hammered here. So I think this is a good purchase. Help our people go to college. And actually, it's not that expensive in terms of political clout. So let's do it. Boom. Now, what are our other problems? Well, the pollution is, my choice to do that oil drilling certainly does not help us out. And pollution's a tricky one to tackle. So let's tackle a little more easier one. Let's go back here to homelessness. Yeah, it's still pretty bad. Now, poverty and unemployment. Let's we gotta keep heating the economy up here. Let's see what else we can do to help. Let's see. Set up agro-dealer networks to improve information dissemination, supply chains, produce distribution to farming communities. Agro-dealers offer permanent premises where farmers can attend training and supplies to get better prices. Not bad, not bad. Although I'm not too sure we want to go rural here. I'm more interested in helping. Just getting more things. I mean, we could do something like capital equipment and subsidies. This really helps the economy, but it's expensive. Very expensive. Up to $13.2 billion a quarter. That would put us right back into debt if we cranked that to the max. So, now there's technology grants. These actually aren't too bad and can create jobs. Yeah, let's do it. Let's double down on tech here. It hurts unemployment. It hurts the religious membership. We can start marginalizing the religious types if we crank this up. Yeah. Higher productivity, and it makes the capitalists happy too. All right, yeah, I think this is a good one to kick in. And we still have 9 left. Let's see what other policies we can kick in. There's some cheaper ones. Ooh, food stamps, not too bad. Actually, I really like food stamps. Yeah, let's get them some food stamps. That'll help our poor out. Reduce poverty. And even at its maximum, it doesn't even crack a billion per quarter. So I'm willing to kick that up. And pretty much nobody is angered by food stamps. You know, it makes people happier. The only thing it lowers is poverty, which is a negative thing anyway. 100% popular with the voters. So, yeah. I think we'll be in good shape with that. All right, let's advance time here. All right, power blackouts is gone. So all of it and all of its negative effects is now gone. And we've got ourselves an offer to build a national monument. What do we got here? Relationship with a trading partner. They don't name specific countries in terms of it, just says which our foreign trading partners are. We can either strengthen our relationship with new trading partners, or decline the offer. But we don't want to, so you either improve foreign relations or anger your patriots. We want more foreign relations. Screw the patriots. I'm not too fond of that. We still have a great budget surplus here. All right, let's keep working on our economy, because I want to do that rather than directly housing the people. Because if we make more jobs, then the homelessness situation is going to go take care of itself. So let's address this right here, our skills shortage, which is already actually going down by itself. But look at that tank to GDP there. If we get rid of this beast, yeah, we got to do more to address that. Now, the other thing we can do here is science funding. Now, we already have some pretty good science funding, but well, this will increase our technology. And well, it does decrease unemployment. What else do we got here? There's also just general education, state schools, yeah. Actually, if we make state schools, it'll directly decrease unemployment because we start hiring more teachers. It also hurts private schools, the more state schools you have. But rather than, I'd rather do that. It makes parents happier. Socialist education. Yeah, we want more. What's the price on that? Ooh, that is kind of. I'm not too sure about that. That's not a huge increase in effectiveness for its increase in that. No, we don't want to use our political capital for that. So let's see. What else can we do to increase our education here? Let's see. Family planning, state housing, no. Robotics research. I don't think that's directly related to education. Public services. Here we go. Oh, adult education subsidies. That sounds pretty good to me. Ooh, or public libraries. Now that's a deal. I mean, it doesn't cost that much even at its highest, but higher education, equality, and makes the elders happier. And they're already a faction that loves us, so making them even happier will just further amplify that. All right, we got 14 capital left. What other thing? Let's take a look at uncompetitive economy. Yeah, now this one's a real tough one to crack. Now you can take a chunk out of it by getting rid of your corporation tax, but that brings in a lot of money. The corporation tax brings in $7.49 billion per quarter. So I'm kind of hesitant to nix this. I mean, I could maybe do it. Takes me 30 political capital to nix it, though. I might consider nixing it. What's our surplus? 5. So it would put us in a deficit, and we're still in debt. So you know what? No, we need the money. We need the money. What do we have here? Inheritance tax. Ooh, and it's only at 3%. Raising it takes more, but what does it do? Increases equality, the socialism, pisses off the wealthy, and, well, it angers the elderly, but then, that's okay. How much more can it build for us? Actually, doesn't make a lot of money. So I'm not going to mess with that one. What else can we do? State health services. Well, health's not a big problem. Not at the moment. What else affects GDP here? Let's see what else we can do. Yeah, GDP is affected by tons of things. Science funding, technology grants, small business grants. We're not child labor. All right, good. It's banned. Yeah, no, we're not pressing kids into service. That's not my style. Let's do technology funding since it does help our GDP. Let's crank that up. And we'll bank the rest of it. Foreign visit schedule. Let's see what here. Visit our historic ally or build a new relationship. Alright, so the patriotic want to break that, and but it's a welcome source of foreign aid or a new relationship. Lucrative trading partners. Let's do the lucrative trading partners. I'll take that. Okay, how are we doing on the... Yeah, this thing's still tanking. So as those come into more effect, we should be able to nix this skills shortage. Our oil wealth is much higher here. Yeah, that oil drilling opportunity. Yeah, this just slowly goes down over time. Increases that, but it hurts our environment. It's like an opposite of a problem. It has a trigger and it can go away, but it's generally seen as a good thing rather than a bad thing. What do we have here? Unemployed benefit. This is what we need to help our unemployed get back on their feet. We can do that. Yeah, no benefit. There, yeah, that really hurts homelessness. And it doesn't cost too much. We'll give them a medium benefit. We don't want to go crazy with this. All right, 12 capital left. What's this over here? Judicial independence. Nah, we're okay with that. The environment. We do need to work on this, though. Because it contributes to our pollution and the asthma. Actually, it decreases the asthma epidemic. So it's good enough to start fighting the asthma. Could also do a smoking ban, but that might anger some people. Yeah, we gotta improve the environment a little bit better here. Car usage. People are still using their cars. Let's jump on some more of that bus stuff that I mentioned. Bus subsidies. Ooh, telecommuting initiative. This will encourage people to stay home. Boy, if only they had this in real life. So yeah, it increases the membership of the urbans, and they tend to like us. Lowers car usage. Parents like it because they get to work from home, stay with their kids. And also increases our infrastructure. Interesting. Let's do it. Probably for bigger internet investments. All right, we'll bank the rest of it. And actually, I think we will cut the episode here. So in our next episode, we continue seeing if we can't knock out that skills shortage, maybe start dealing with our pollution, as I ponder whether or not I get rid of our corporation tax, and see if we can't nix this homelessness problem as well. So if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment, good, bad, or indifferent. Your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstars signing out. See ya.